Hi there, everybody. Hopefully, you're having a good day today. I wanted to talk about today where I have been recently because obviously I've been kind of silent for the past week or so, and I haven't been streaming on Twitch for about almost a month now, and I want to figure out a day which would be good for me to stream on Twitch again because obviously I can't stay away from Twitch forever. But obviously, as I said before, I'm fighting through my horrid mental health, depression, anxiety, and sadness, but just recently, I was feeling 100 times better than I normally was because I was able to get a job with my aunt, working at her restaurant, and it made me feel so much better that made me feel like myself again. And I was so excited to go to work and stuff. And I went in I was ready to go in as hard as you possibly can go in with the confidence of confidence. And unfortunately, from day one, it just backfired on me, and it made me think I am completely useless. I don't know why I did this, or maybe just I'm not meant to be a human being or whatnot. But all that horrible stuff, and it just made me feel bad. And then I tried it again like day number two, but unfortunately, it was way worse than day number one. But I was happy with myself that I was able to at least try, dip my toe in, see what it's like. And then unfortunately didn't really work out. So at my doctor's office, I've been in counseling, and my counselor has been able to help me out so much with my mental health, and how I'm able to take my mind off the edge and the clouds of shadows and darkness and freaking sadness and whatnot. And we discussed recently these terms that are called thinking errors, and thinking errors are these terms where it's like your mind always tricks you every time, and it makes your body feel very anxious, stressed out, and like down and hopeless and whatnot. These thinking errors were discussed with my counselor, and they actually helped me take the edge off of me, and they've helped me feel better by a lot. And I have to keep thinking about these again, to like take my mind off the edge and just keep feeling happy. And I definitely think that I can relate these thinking errors to the very huge trend of what everybody in the Titanfall community has been talking about, and that is the sweet deliverance of Titanfall 3. I do want to say this. I do want to use these thinking errors to help out some of you think a little bit differently about because Vince Impella has said that there's no plans for Titanfall 3, which has hurt all of our souls. It's hurt mine, but thanks to these thinking errors that I have here, they've helped me think differently of it. Because Respawn has to be like one of the smallest teams of people that work on video games, of course they had to take some of the teams away from Titanfall, so they had to just like drop it for now, come back to it later, and work on Apex Legends. And it's obvious that because Apex Legends has been pretty successful over the past months or so, that they would love to continue to work on Apex Legends because if it's successful, then it's just like we need to keep working on it. We need to keep making it better. But anyways, all right, let's go over these a little bit, and I hope that coming from me that I can help you guys or even the Titanfall community as a whole. Everybody's been saying that Titanfall's been scrapped. Respawn does not like Titanfall anymore. Or the fact that they spit on the Titanfall community to just work on the Battle Royale trend. All those may seem true, right? But you never know what's going to happen. But then we're always thinking that it's not going to happen. Oh, no, it is going to happen. No, it's not going to happen. And for this case, this is where a thinking error is coming into play. This thinking error would be called fortune telling. Although none of us knows what will happen in the future, we sometimes like to try our hand at fortune telling. We think things like Titanfall 3 is not going to come out. Titanfall is just going to die in a black hole and never be remembered again. These types of thoughts can become self-fulfilling prophecies if you're not careful. When you're predicting doom and gloom, remind yourself of all the other possible outcomes. Like, just remind yourself the possible outcome is like when they have Apex Legends in a really great spot where they can do other stuff. Then Titanfall might be in development. Who knows? We've all been waiting for Titanfall 3 for such a long time, and knowing that Vince Impella has said that Titanfall's not currently in the making or in development kind of really hurts, doesn't it? But it doesn't mean it's the end of the world, because who knows? As I said before, none of us will know what will happen in the future, but we're predicting what's going to happen in the future, which is saying that Titanfall 3 is not going to come in the future. And this is what's called fortune telling. Essentially, we're not letting the story play. We're predicting what's going to happen in the story. It's like you're trying to spoil a movie and you don't know what's going to happen in the future, Give it some time, let the story play out, and we'll see what the future holds. But, you're letting the story play out. You're letting it finish. You can't just say to everybody going like, okay, Titanfall's not going to be relevant anymore. Titanfall 3 is not going to, officially come out. You got to let the story play out if you want yourself to, feel good about, everything else that's going to be coming in the future. Because, hey, we have Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order to look forward to, man. That game looks great. We're going to have a great freaking looking Star Wars game from Respawn. Think about that. That's a great looking game already. Even though it didn't look as fast-paced and as hype as, in the trailer and when they had previously announced it, that's just a little taste of what's to come. There's going to be a lot more, I do imagine. Which brings us to another thinking error topic, which is called filtering out the positive. Essentially, if 9 good things happen and 1 bad thing happens, sometimes we filter out the good and hone in on the bad. Take Apex Legends, for example. We saw that it was a battle royale. Everybody was hoping that it was Titanfall 3, but it's not. It's going to be Apex Legends. Lots of us were very, very upset that this was going to be the case because, battle royale games have kind of gone on over the top, I do agree. But Apex Legends definitely has to be probably the most enjoyable battle royale I've ever played, and it definitely is one of the most enjoyable to watch. Well, in my opinion, it is enjoyable to watch. Some people don't enjoy watching it instead of playing it. But essentially, when Apex Legends was on the case, then we kind of all just filtered out the positive about Apex Legends. Since the success of Apex Legends with reaching, over frickin' 50 million players, which has got frickin' incredible, has given Respawn, has kind of shined a lot of lights on Respawn because, when they were making Titanfall and Titanfall 2, they were really underrated games. But then when Apex Legends came out, positive side is that it shined a lot of light on them. And we can also think about the positive side of the Apex Legends bringing some life back into Titanfall 2 for a little while, but then unfortunately, it kind of just disappeared. And that's where we all start filtering out the positive sides of everything, And essentially, it started with a trend going like, Apex Legends was a mistake. Why did Respawn jump on the Battle Royale train? Come on, Respawn. I'm not saying this because I want to be biased about Respawn and that I love them so much. I'm saying this because, think about the positive sides of it. Apex Legends is a lot more fast-paced than, most Battle Royales, because if you look at PUBG, those games take forever. When it comes to Apex Legends, it averagely takes about, 20 minutes. If it's just, if I want to play one game and just, take out 20 minutes of my day, you know what? I can go ahead and do that. And essentially, Apex, you can definitely take of Apex Legends being like Titanfall 2, but it's way dumbed down because it still has the same sliding mechanic as Titanfall 2, and the sliding mechanics in Apex Legends, I have to agree, are definitely really fun to use. I definitely love sliding down hills and everything, and just using that sliding momentum to go from one place to another. It's definitely really fun to slide down hills and then shoot somebody with a Mastiff as you're sliding down. That's definitely one of the most enjoyable things ever. That's what I found very satisfying about Apex. And even the fact that Respawn has been able to take the time to, understand that the Mozambique is a meme, and they've added in a new animation where you throw the Mozambique to the ground if you switch it out for any other weapon, which is smart as shit because they embraced the meme. I love that they did that. When it comes to Respawn, they understand memes like it's no one's business, and they take the meme, they understand it, they put it into the game, and they take time to actually just it's amazing what they added that type of animation where you just throw the Mozambique to the ground if you switch it out for any other weapon. It's hilarious. I love it. But once again, don't be thinking that because Vince said that Titanfall 3 is not in development. Don't be making that think that doesn't mean that Titanfall 3 is ever going to come out in the future, because like I said before, it's fortune telling. You're pretty much a lot of people are pretty much predicting the future about Titanfall 3, that it's never going to come out. But what I need to say about it is that let the story play out. Let the future unveil itself. Let yourself experience what's next to come. Don't be, making assumptions of what's going to happen in the future, because if you're going to be doing that, then it's going to be making your body feel like shit for a very, very long time. Because, we can't really predict the future. Who knows what the future is going to hold, because anything is possible. So eventually it's if Titanfall 3 were to come around and then you've been thinking Titanfall 3's not coming out, and then you're like, oh my gosh, why did I think for that for so long? Thank you, Respawn. Just wait and see. Don't fortune tell. Don't do fortune telling. Like I said before, in fortune telling, let the story play out. Let the story finish and let the story have a conclusion on its own. Don't be making assumptions or trying to rewrite the story for the author. The author needs to, of course, finish the story before anything else happens. And these thinking errors have been helping me a lot, trying to get me back into Twitch streaming, because definitely a lot of this related to me too, because I was fortune telling where my Twitch channel is going. It's just like, essentially, it's like no one is finding interest in me anymore. My channel is just gonna die slowly into the graveyard. And then there's also the filtering out the positive part, because I always have to keep remembering that the birthday stream that I had like this year was amazing. I love that everybody was able to come over, and I was able to stream on Respawn's official channel, for crying out loud, with Dino, Ishii, Butterbar, Tony, and all the other Titanfall folks. I can't forget about that. That was amazing. We like raised a lot of money for children's hospitals, like ranking like top 20 or 15 in the Extra Life website. I mean, come on, that was amazing. But that's kind of what's recently beating down, because the fact that it's just like it's been feeling quiet in my Twitch chat recently, and I've been fortune telling, like, in my mind, going like, nobody finds interest in me anymore. Why is this happening to me? My channel's just gonna go down slowly and just die into a graveyard. But once again, the future holds anything. Anything can happen. Whether it's bad, whether it's good. We just gotta let the story play out, and not fortune tell, not get a fortune cookie and like crack it open saying, okay, so this is gonna happen. So have a good rest of your day and goodbye. But once again, just let the story play out, and we'll see what has yet to come. And I definitely do believe that, with the successful Apex Legends could come a successful Titanfall 3, so there's also one other thing to take into account. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for me today. Whether you found this info helpful, misleading, or super, super not helpful, I understand if it's not. But if you found it helpful or not, I still love you anyway, and that's why I did this video, because I love you. And it's just mostly to say that, well, I've kind of just been here and here, and I wanted to just, like, tell how I've been. And I really should start getting back into Twitch streaming, but there's just, the thing of fighting the perfect day and not feeling anxious to push the start streaming button, and just, not fortune telling my mind, because it's still kind of getting to me just a little bit, and I'm trying to just get it out of my head, but, I'll eventually be coming back. But anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in today, and I will hope to see you guys next time. Peace and take care.